Hey, good evening. Okay, totally frustrating experience today for myself and a potential new client. So I want to drive home this point. It concerns not having enough credits to be insured for Social Security disability, which is very troublesome for someone who wouldn't be eligible for SSI due to not being that indigent. Okay. You can be a middle class tough times and all that and not be eligible for SSI, right? So being insured for SSD is so important. So this is about driving home the fact that when we choose to be stay-at-home parents, it's usually a choice, not always a full choice. And I totally get that. I'm a parent too. Um, but when we do it and we don't head back to very minimal, but above a certain level of minimal work once our kids are in school and we're not caring for them all throughout the day, we may be doing ourselves an injustice. And I say this for moms and dads, and any other caretaker, actually. And it need not be a caretaker of a child. It's when you take yourself out of the workforce for a number of years and you stop paying the premiums for Social Security disability. It is like a term insurance and it runs out. We've gone over this before. But I know a lot of people, they don't teach us this coming out of high school. And so many people are getting themselves screwed by not knowing this. So it's so important that it's out there. If you are going to stay home while your babies are home, that's awesome. And even later, but you might want to seriously consider some work, all or most of those years, that at least gets you the credits you need to not ever have that term insurance of Social Security disability expire on you, because you never know if and when you might become disabled. We're not getting any younger, right? So in this case, it was someone who had not worked full time since before the children were born over 20 years ago. Did go back, did some sporadic things, $1,000 this year, $1,000 this other year, nothing that would give her credits. And that was all before the last 10 years. And in the last 10 years, particularly this last year, made a nice chunk of change. But then things got worse, and because she did go back to work. And then things got worse, and in 2023 found she had to stop. Well, and there was also a year right before COVID, 2019. Okay. So there's like 8 credits on the books between 19 and 22, those 2 years. And there could be maybe another 4 for 2023, perhaps. That leaves 12 years. 12 credits. You need 20, and they have to be in your 10-year window right behind you, trailing behind you, right? If you're not yet disabled and on Social Security disability. That's what you want. So unfortunately, she can't apply at this time. If she can work part-time and get 4 credits each year, this person could file after gaining four credits through 2025. That assumes 4 credits in 2023, 4 credits in 2024. I can't say this fast. Sally sells seashells. And another 4 credits for 2025. We have other videos on doing that seasonally and spreading it out over the year, whatever works for you. But it is imperative. I see too many stay-at-home parents become disabled and have nothing, right when they thought they might go back to work. And it's also, of course, depleting this is a whole nother negative. You are depleting. If you did have work in an earlier part of your adult life, and you're definitely insured for retirement if you had 10 years of work, you will be minimizing the amount you're going to get. The amount you thought you might be getting from those 10 years of work is shrinking every year you don't work until age of retirement. Shrinking. It's going to be one of the lowest ones probably possible. if you don't prove that you were disabled and you couldn't go back to work. Okay, so moms and dads, stay-at-home caretakers, if you can get out there and do something for a taxable payable check. In 2023, it's $6,560 is all you need to earn that you get taxed on. So if it's self-employment, you gotta make sure you're allowing yourself to be taxed on that amount. Don't write it all off with business expenses. For W-2s, it's a little simpler because there is none of that stuff. You'll be doing yourself a favor. Possibly, a lot of people become disabled before the age of 62, and some quite young. So please, if you can, do it for yourself. Yeah, you just want to do it. Get those credits. If you are, now some people say, but I'm disabled and I can't seem to get hired. Try your vocational rehabilitation agency in your area. It might be in your county. Vocational rehab. It's often underneath your one of your state agencies, like aging and disabled or something. Look there, or it could be under your labor department. Look there because they may have an entity that helps people with disabilities get jobs. And that is how you can get your credits back. Now, I would suggest if you're going to do it, maybe be opting for a job already that is within your disability. So part-time under SGA, even though you wouldn't be claiming to be disabled during these years, even though you are, because you're not insured, you'd be claiming a later date. But, there could be optics to that. So I would think if you'd be looking for a job that is under SGA, look up the video on SGA. It's probably, I think there's an actual playlist called SGA, but if not, you just find it under the playlist about glossary, Social Security glossary words. You could play that a few different ways. So that might depend. If it's something you thought you were going to do and you want to get a lawyer on board to look at what you're doing so that it's a good preparation and the preliminary things for that year, 2, 3, or 4. It's never going to be more than 5 that you have to do it. And I could always, if you needed me to take a look at your numbers to see, you found out you're not insured for disability, then you want to know how many credits you have, how many more you will need, and how long it will take you to get them. I'm happy to do that for you. I guess email me, stephaniejoy@joydisability.com, or make a comment down below. Somehow we can connect. And you could email me, or better yet, fax me and you can redact it. You can take out any information you want. Your Social Security earnings statement, and I can do the calculations for you if you want. Just to let you know how many you have now and what you would have to pay taxes on at a part-time job that is commensurate with your disabilities, ideally, to get you back on board, and then you can file. Okay. And again, separately, if you are very indigent, meaning no spouse bringing in sufficient income, that kind of thing, or any other resources, low resource and otherwise income from non-work or non-spouse, you can still apply for SSI right now if you meet those financial poorness factors. Whole nother issue. I'm just talking about the credits now. And now for Social Security disability, you can't apply, but you could apply for SSI if that poorness shoe fit. Okay. Anyway, if you have any questions, just let me know. I hate when I see this happen. Deserving person doing all the right things, and the credits aren't there because, again, it's term insurance. It ran out long ago. And while, when they start to go back to work, they haven't worked long enough to gain that back yet. So I'm definitely losing my voice. So I don't know how much longer I can do this. All right. I'll talk to you later, perhaps. I hope this helps. Bye. And remember, your vocational rehab agency can be the key to getting a job with disabilities when you feel like all these other companies aren't hiring you because you can't do those jobs because you have this problem or that problem. They have part-time jobs, jobs that are kind of maybe tailored for the disabled, And there's so many kinds of disabilities. So you just want to go and find out, right? That might be the fastest way to get a job. Unless you have like maybe people that have businesses that know that there's something you could do. Maybe you can, answer phones or check emails, like let's say you have a hearing problem and you can't do phone work, you can do emails. There might be some companies that just want you to do stuff like that, respond to emails, customer service, but only the email version of it, not the phone kind. All sorts of ways to skin the cat. So let's see what we can do, right? Check it out. Bye now.